Bible films tend to be boring because the content that they are adapting tends to be boring. That is to say, the biblical texts were not written as modern movie scripts. There are three main categories of Bible films, and the inherent entertainment value increases with each category. The first and most boring category are Jesus films. Jesus films are boring because Jesus is a boring character, and I say this as a Christian and as a scholar of the New Testament and of Jesus stuff. Jesus is a boring character for at least three reasons. First, he doesn't have a love interest, and if you add in a love interest, you get yourself into trouble. Second, there's not a lot of action in the life of Jesus. There's no yippee-ki-yay, Mother Pharisee, no Jesus busting skulls. And third, Jesus is boring because he's morally perfect and doesn't really develop as a character. And so it takes a lot of work for Bible filmmakers to make Jesus more interesting. The second category of Bible films has a little bit more inherent entertainment value. These are usually called Old Testament epics, and they have more entertainment value when it comes to film because the Hebrew Bible or Old Testament has more popcorn-worthy content. There's more violence, war, sex, political intrigue, the stuff that makes for good blockbusters. But usually that comes in short snippets that Bible filmmakers need to expand and interpret upon. The third and most entertaining category of Bible films are really not Bible films at all, or at least they are not adaptations of the Bible. These are called peplum or sword and sandal films. Peplum films are set in the biblical world, and Jesus, or another biblical character, usually has a cameo that advances the plot in some way. So peplum films are not bogged down with the boringness of the Bible. They can write up a script that is entertaining in its own right and then use Jesus to their advantage. So, the three categories of Bible films from most boring to least boring are Jesus movies, Old Testament epics, and peplum films.